Maths Masters. So this is the addition session 9, and in this session we're going to be looking at adding 10 more, finding 10 more, or you could call it adding 10 to a 2-digit number. So if you imagine that here we've got a problem that we can look at. So a game show is happening, and these are the 2 contestants in the game show. One of them has scored 30, one of them has got a score of 56. And they're in the second round of the game show, and this time they get 10 points for every correct answer they answer correctly. So they get 10 points. They both answer 3 questions correctly. So how many points will they have after they've answered 3 correct questions? Okay, today I have brought in a pause sign. So when you see the pause sign, press pause on the video clip. Then you can have a go at working out the answer and then play it again, and I will go through the answer with you so we can look at different ways of doing it. So what I want you to do, they've got 10 points for each correct answer. They both answer 3 more questions correctly. What is their score now? So pause it and have a go at that. Okay, so we'll come back to this at the end of the session. So I'll leave that there for now. Okay, so what we're going to look at today is adding 10 more on, and that's what you needed to do in that problem, finding 10 more. So what different things have we got to do this? So you can use 100 square to find 10 more. You can use base 10. You can use a number line. So do it in a concrete pictorial way at first. Okay. So when we add on 10 more, what happens to the tens digit? So the first way we're going to look at is using 100 square. Now on the 100 square, what happens to the numbers as they go down the 100 square? So as you go down the 100 square, what happens to the numbers? Pause it, have a think about that. Okay, so hopefully you said that the numbers get greater, they get bigger, they increase. Because can you see here we go 6, 16, 26, 36, 46, 56, 66. The numbers are getting bigger. When we go back up, back down the 100 square, should I say, back down here, because normally we're looking at 100 square flat, so we'd be looking at going up the 100 square and down it. If we go back this way, the numbers decrease and they become less. 36, 26, 16, 6. So what we're focusing on today is going up 10 more. So if we were at the number 8 and we wanted to add on 10, what you could do is start at 8 and count on 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which would take you to 18. But you could also just jump down 1 square on the 100 square because you just added on a 10. And if you look at the 10s and 1s, you will see that just a 10 has been added. So here we've got 1s and 10s. We've still got 8 and 1 10 has just been added. Let's look at this one. So here we've got multiples of 10, and it goes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. What do you notice about the 10s? What do you notice about the 1s in those numbers as they increase each time? Pause it, have a think about that. Okay, I hope you noticed that the 10s column is becoming 1 bigger each time, all the way down to where we get to 9 10s, and then we get 10 10s, which is the same as 100. Okay, so the 1s column hasn't changed because we're adding on 10 each time. We're not adding on 1, which is going this way. We are adding on 10 each time. So the 1s column remains at 0. Okay, so what I want you to do is have a look at the 7s column. So we start at 7. What is 7 add 10? Well, if we add 10 on, we have just added 1 10 into the 10s column, and we've still got the 7 1s, okay? And we can see this using base 10 alongside it. So we've got one 10 and we've still got 7. If we have 17 and we add another 10, then we have now got 2 10s and we've still got 7 1s. If we add on another 10, so 17 add 10 would be 27. We've got 2 10s and still 7 1s. What's going to come next? Okay, so I hope you thought if you add on another 10, so we could put those here, we have got 37. Note again that the ones hasn't changed there. And we can keep on going. So we had 27, we added 10, and we've got 37. And we can keep on going to, we can have 47, and which would take us another 10. The ones remains the same. Add on 10 more, what's that going to be? 57. Add on another 10, what's that going to be? 67, and then 77. Okay, now if we kept going with this, we would come up to a number above 77. And if we look here, we have got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 70, 7 1s, 77. Now 77, if we add 10 on, will become 87. And if we have 87 add 10, that will become 97. And if we add on another 10, what will we have now? Have a think about that one. Okay, so we've got 97 and we've added on another 10. We've now got 10 10s in our 10s column. 10 10s are the same as, you can see there, they are the same as 100. So those 10 10s now will move into, we're going to exchange them. We're going to exchange those 10 10s for 100, and we've got 0 10s there. So we've now got 97 add 10 is equal to 107. And then we could carry on adding 10. 107 add on 10 would be 110 and 7. So what it would be 117. Then we could have 117 add 10. What would that be? That would be 127. And again, at the moment, it's only the tens column that is changing. The digits never, the ones digit never changes because we're not adding any ones. The hundreds column is staying the same at the moment, but eventually that will change. When will that change? Okay, so hopefully you're going to think about that. When we get to 197 and we add 10 more on, we're going to come, 10 more is going to be 207. Okay, so you can use base 10 to work these out, to help you to add 10 on. It's a really good concrete and visual way of seeing it. Okay, so I want you to have a go at doing one yourself. So looking at the patterns in the numbers. So if we start off with the number 14, what I would like you to do is start with 14, which is made up of 1 10 and 4 1s. And I want you to think about what if you add 10 on to 14, what will you have? Can you do it without counting on 10? Can you just change the tens column? Have a go at that. So have a go at that now. Okay, so what you should have done is you've got 10 and you've got 4. One way you've seen it is by adding on another 10. So now you've got 24 because the tens has increased by 1. Okay, so you've got 24. What I want you to do is keep going, add on 8 more 10s. Have a go at adding on 8 more 10s and see where you get to. So pause it, add on 8 more 10s. Okay, so adding on 8 more 10s, another 10 would be 34. Another 10 would be 44. And I'm going to draw the other 6, would be, another 10 would be 54. Another 10 would be 64. Another 10 would be 74. Another 10 would be 84. And another 10 would be 94. Okay, so we've added on, we wanted to add on 8 more 10s, we've added on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and we're at 94. If we add another 10 on, this now would mean that we have got 10 10s in our 10s column, so we would then end up with a 100 and 0 10s, so we'd have to show that by putting a 0 in, so we would end up with 104. Okay. The other way of seeing them is using a number line. So if we have our number line, we can count on, if we start at 14, and we can count on 10 each time, going in jumps of 10. So we're starting at 14, we can add on 10 and it would take us to 24 and keep jumping in 10 in 10s each time to see where we get to as well. Okay. Okay, so I want you to have a go at adding on 10s now. So you can use the 10s and 1s. You can also, if you go into the description in the place value number 1 session, you will find a key stage 1 place value grid, and you can use that. That's got hundreds, 10s and 1s on, and that will help you in today's session. So complete adding 10 each time. So look at question 1 and 2. Follow the number sequence, look at the patterns of the numbers, add on 10 each time. So you're going 10, 20, 30, and you're going all the way up to 120. Look at the pattern, what's happening to the 10s, what's happening to the 1s, and what happens to the 100s after a while each time. Here, we've got 22, 32, add on 10 each time. So make the number 32 using the base 10. So use your base 10, see there's 32 and keep adding 10 on. Be very careful when you get up here, when you've added a few 10s on, you're going to get near 100. What happens when you've got 10 10s? You're going to have to start exchanging those 10 10s for 100 and go all the way to 122. So pause that, have a go at that, and then we'll go through that one together. Okay, so hopefully you've had a go at these. So if we get 10, 20, 30, and we add on some more. So if we go here, we've got our 10s and our 1s. We've got nothing in the 1s column for this one. So we've got 10, 20, 30, add on another 10 is going to be 40. Because we've got 0 still in our 1s column. Add on another 10 is going to be 50. Add on another 10, 60. And look what's happening to the 10s. The 10s column is just increasing by 1 each time. So then it goes to 70, 80, 90. And then when I add on 10 more, I've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. If I add 10 more, then I've got 10 10s, which is the same as 100. And then if I add on another 10, so we see this in this one, we have got, we've got 100, no tens, no ones. We'll have to hold those places with 2 0 digits, so the number will look like 1. And then we can add on another 10, so we have got 110. And the next number will be 120. Notice how it's just the tens digit that changes until we get up to the hundreds, then it moves over because we've got 100 and it's the 100 digit that changes. Okay, this one, we've got 22. It's increasing by 10 each time, so we're adding on 10. We've got to 32, and what we can do with this is add on some more 10s. So 32 add 10 is 42. 42 add 10 is 52. Then it's 62, 72, 82, 92, and then it goes, we've got 10 tens here, so it goes 102 because the ones digit remains the same. We've got 102 and we add another 10 on, we have got 112. Okay, so a really good resource that you can use to help you with that is in the description section. It's the place value counter by ictgames. That's great for looking at just adding on 10 in the tens column, and you'll see how the tens digit changes. The ones stay the same, but as you come up to the hundreds boundary, you can see how the hundreds changes as well. So use that as well, that'll really help you. Now the third question, the cost of each piece of fruit is increased by 10 pence. How much do they cost now? So the apple is 23 pence, the banana is 26 pence, the lemon is 13 pence, and the grapes are 41 pence. So I want you to have a think about this one. You're going to add on 10 more pence to those amounts. How much are they going to cost now? What can you do? Are you going to use base 10 to help you? Or are you going to count down on 100 square to help you? So see if you can do it mentally without counting on in ones, okay? So pause it and off you go. Okay, so 23 pence for the apple. If you add 10 pence on more, it's just the tens column that's going to change. One more 10 is going to be 33 pence. With the banana, we've got 26. So if you think of our tens and ones, we have got 10, 20 and 6, and we're going to add on one more 10, so now we have got 36 pence. The lemon, we have got 1 10 and 3 ones making up 13. We add on another 10 and now we have got 23 pence. And finally we've got the grapes that are more expensive than all the others, they're 41 pence. So 41 is made up of 4 10s and 1 1, and we add on another 10p, so it's going to be one more 10 in the tens column, so it's going to be 51. Okay, right, the next thing I'd like you to have a go at. Anna has been saving up, and he has got 24 pence in his piggy bank there. So he gets 10p pocket money given to him each week, okay? Gets 10 pence. How much will he have after 5 weeks? So he starts off with 24 pence and he's going to get 10 pence for the next 5 weeks. So you can think of it that he's got 24 pence, and then on week 1 he's going to get another 10p. On week 2 he's going to get another 10p. On week 3 another 10p. On week 4 another 10p, and on week 5 another 10p. Now if you want to, you can use your base 10 to help you. So you can start off with 24. Like this. Or you can even get 10 pence coins, and you can make 24 pence out of 10p coins and 1p coins, and keep adding on 10p each time and see where you get to. So pause it and have a go at that one. Okay, so you've got 24 pence. If you add 10 pence on, you're going to have 34. The second week he gets another 10 pence. So now you're going to have 44. We'll put them underneath to see what we've added on, like this. Now sometimes this is a good way of doing it, if you put them underneath, because this helps later on. So we started off with our 24 pence. So I'm going to add on my 5 tens. And another good thing about putting it underneath is you don't forget how many lots of 10 you've added on, because you're so busy adding your tens on, you can forget how many lots of 10 you needed to add on. So I know I need to add on 5 tens. So I can put my 5 tens here. You can either count them on as you're adding them, or you can add on your 5 tens like this. So I've added on, nothing's changed in my ones because he didn't get any ones given to him. He just got the whole 10p's. So now we've got the 24p plus 50p, we've got 5 tens. So we can count them on in tens. We've got 24, 34, 44, 54, 64, 74 pence. So he has 74 pence at the end of his 5 weeks. Now, how much will he have after 9 weeks? Well, we've done 5 weeks. Now we need to go up to 6, 7, 8, and 9. So we've got to add on another 4 tens. So pause it, have a go at that. Okay, so I hope you've had a go at that one. So we were at 74 pence. If we add on another 10, we get to 84. Another 10, we'll put them at the bottom like we were saying before. So we had on another 10 would be 84. Another 10 would be 94. And another 10 would bring us to 104. So now we've got 100 over here. And we can get rid of those. So we've got 10 tens, which has made 100. We've got 104. Add another 10. And now we've got 110 and 4, which is 114 pence, which is equal to £1 and 14 pence as well. Okay, so the next thing, he wants to buy this comic. Now the comic costs £1.64. He has already got, or we could call that 114 pence. 164 pence. He's already got £1.14 or 114 pence. How many weeks must he save to get £1.64? So count on in your tens to get to £1.64. How many tens? So how many weeks will it take? So pause it and have a go at that one. Okay, so is it 114 pence or £1.14? If we add on another 10, so if we see this here as our hundreds, tens and ones, he's got 100 and a 1. I'm going to draw a stick for the 10, and we've got the 4 ones. So the 4 ones doesn't change because he doesn't get any ones given to him. He gets whole tens. We've got one of the tens, and we've got 114 or £1.14. So we can add on another 10. Now we've got £1.24 or 124. Actually, what might be a better idea is if I'm going to get rid of that and I'm going to draw it, so we'll add on what we're adding on underneath. So we've got 114, so we can add on another 10, that's 124, another 10, 134, another 10, 144, 154, and the last 10, 164. So I've added on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens. So it takes 5 lots of 10, so he gets 5 more 10p's given to him. So that would be 5 more 10p's would be 5 weeks. So it takes Amir another 5 weeks to get to £1.64, so we've got enough to buy the comic. Okay, final questions. Have a look what's there. So, pause it, see what number is there, write it down and keep adding on 20 this time. So add on 2 lots of 10 until you get to 138. So pause it and have a go. Okay, so keep adding 20 on each time until you get to 138. So if we add on 20, we will get to 158. We add on another 20, we will get to 178, because now the tens unit, the tens digit is going up by 2 because we're adding on 2 lots of 10, so it's making 2 jumps down on those 100 squares. If we add on another 2 tens, we've got 198, okay? And if we add on another 2 tens, then if we add on one 10, we're going to get to 208, and another 10 is 218. So if we look now, we have got, sorry, I haven't put the 100 in there, have I, along the way. So we started off with 138, then we had 158, 178, 198, and then we ended up, we'll get rid of those with another one there, because the next 10 made us into 200, and we've got 10 and our 8. And we add on another 2 tens, we have 238. Okay, have a go at this one. So pause it, this time add on 30. So pause it and add on 30. Okay, so we've got 48, add on 30. So let's make 48 with tens and ones. We've got 4 tens and we've got 8 ones. So we can add on 30, 10, 20, 30. So 3 tens we've added on. What have we got now? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tens. And we've got still our 8 ones, which gives us 78. So we could say 48 and 30 is 78, or we could say 78 is equal to 48 and 30. Now have a go at these two. Use the part whole model to add these together. These are the parts. What whole will you make when you add those together? So pause it, have a go at that. Okay, so 57 and 30. We can start with 57. So we can have 57 and we need to add on 30. So if we add those, we've still got our 7. So our step 7 remains in the ones, and we've got 50, 60, 70, 80. We've got 8 tens, so we've got 87. Here we start off with 61. So I need 6 tens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tens and 1, 1. And I want to add on 3 tens. So we've got 6 tens and 3 tens, that makes 9 tens, 90. And we've still got our 1, 1 there, so that makes 91. Okay, final one. There are 72 people at the cinema. 50 are adults. How many of them are children? You can use a number line, so you could start at 50 on your number line and count on to the 72, see how many were children. You can use 100 square, or you could use base 10 to work it out. Try and show you're working out, try and show it using a bar model. Okay, so pause that one and have a go. Okay, so the final one, 72 people at the cinema, 50 are adults, how many are children? So if we think of this in a bar model, we have got, there are 72 at the cinema in total. We know that 50 are adults, so how many are children? Now I've drawn this bar slightly smaller because I know that 50 is much more than half of 72, so I've drawn the 50 bigger. And this is what I'm trying to find out. So what I can do if I use a number line is start at 50 and count on in tens till I get to 70, and then I can add on in ones. I can get to 72 by adding 2. So that gives me 22. I could use base 10. Okay, so we've got 72 people are at the cinema. We know that 50, so I'm going to draw a box around 50 of them. 50 of those are adults. The rest are going to be children. So we've got 2 10s and 2 1s, so 22 are going to be children. Okay, or we can use our 100 square all the way back to where we started with it. We've got 50 of them are adults and we want to get to 72. So we can say, well, there's 10, 20 are up to 70, so 2 10s we've added on, plus 1, 2 makes 22 that we've added on all together. So have a go at practicing this now. Remember to keep practicing these things. If you go into the description section in the arrow at the bottom, there's an activity you can do where you're practicing adding tens on. So have a go at that and see how you get on. And I'll see you back here for the next session. Okay, bye.